after I decided to go ahead and do art journaling with these mini girls, I thought, you know what, they are small enough that perhaps I could get them on a paper clip. So I've already gone ahead and filmed my January layout featuring this little girl. This one is number 11, You Brought Me Love, and I wanted to have these girls on paper clips as well. When I colored in the mini Gorjuss girl for my art journal layout, I did two. I used the blue one, and now I have the little green and pink one here. She is small enough to fit on a standard paper clip. However, I came across these jumbo babies at Kmart, and I thought that perhaps I might give it a go to create the 12 Gorjuss girls on the jumbo clip, only because I think that this would give me more canvas to really make a nice scene. I think that if I did it here, all you could really do is add a sticker and a heart and then you're done, and I really wanted to tell more of a story. So I went away and had a good think about what I wanted to do in this mini series, and this is what I came up with. So we all have these 6x6 paper pads. This is one I got from a haul a few days ago, and I know that I want to always be using my stash, so I grabbed this one, and I thought that this page was gorgeous. I really fell in love with that combination. So I know that I'm going to be using my 6x6 papers as the backdrop for my paper clips for my Gorjuss minis. So I've decided that this is going to be like a dry page, like there's not going to be any mixed media. What I also want to do is also either incorporate some stamping or some die cutting. Again, I'm just getting us to use our stash. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to base my paper clip for the month on the layout that I make in my watercolor art journal. So for example, here it's a little girl with a squirrel, and she's standing outside on a grassy hill with a tree behind her. So in this case, I'm just going to take that general broad idea and I'm going to make it work. It's never going to be the exact same. Like, why reproduce the same thing? Why not just evolve it into another idea? So that's what I'm thinking about. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I start off by getting a piece of cream cardstock that is 3 1/4 wide by 8 inches high, and I fold that in half. This is the correct measurement for my 97mm paper clip. I'm applying double-sided tape now in this formation. I always make sure that I have some double-sided tape at the very top there to make sure that the paper clip is bound down and it doesn't move around the inside. I make sure that the edges are flush, and then I tape it down. I next grab my background and I measure it really loosely there, leaving a little bit of a border. I cut it down, and then I'm applying distress marker, and I think this might be tea dye, just giving it a little bit of shadow around the edges and framing it nicely. That looks really good there. So I thought that this could simulate the tree. I tried cutting out some green cardstock. I had one there, and I had a lighter one there, an olive one, but they really didn't go with the green in the hexagons in the background. So what I decided to do is I went back into the pattern paper, and obviously because the collection is all matching, the green in here matches the green in the background. So I found a piece of paper, and actually I love this paper because it's got a pattern the green has a pattern in it, so it kind of gives it a lot of interest, and that green is a perfect match for the hexagons in the background here, so these guys will not be of much use. And this, along with that, looks so amazing. I love this. So the next thing, and I really want to try stamping this. I received this from one of my swap partners. She just added it into my last swap. It's so cute. I don't even know who makes these. So I almost want a faint gray of these in the background and then have this on top of it.
So here we go. We're going to give that a try. I'm going to place it on the stamp pad, and then what I'm going to do is add Evergreen Bow Distress ink, and I tested it on the side there, and it is the exact color of the green in the background hexagons, which is just perfect. These agapanthus are darling, and in Australia at the moment we've got agapanthus flowering, so it's just so perfect. I then cut the flower die in both green and purple to pick up some of the hexagon colors from the background, and it layers so pretty. I love it so much. So I did about 4 layers there actually, 2 of the big ones, and then I layered the little ones at the bottom there, so it looks like 4 layers on top of each other. It's just so perfect. The little gorgeous girl gets propped up on 3D foam tape, and she looks really, really good there. I then thought I needed a little bit of something at the very top there. I have this corrugated cardboard, and I cut a little banner, and it matches the gold of the paper clips so lovely, and it really gives that top of the paper clip some real oomph, I think. The little squirrel is coming along now. He's also on 3D foam tape. It is now time for the sentiment. This is my Tim Holtz Small Talk sticker book, and I love this. If you'll remember, this little gorgeous stamp is called You Brought Me Love, and I found a perfect sentiment that says love with all your heart, and I chose the black sticker background. I think it looks really good, and I thought at first that I was putting it above her head, but then as I flicked it out to the left hand side there, I thought it actually looked really lovely on each of the flower heads, or just kind of staggered on the left hand side there, bringing attention to the layering underneath the sentiment. So I went with that. I'm now putting them on straight, and I thought that the space above her head was empty, and I really wanted to put an epoxy sticker heart, and I really didn't have any, so I thought I'm gonna grab my Nuvo crystal drops and try to make some. I tried with the purple in the beginning there, and I really didn't like my handiwork. I grabbed this acrylic paint by Santoro, and it was way too pale, and so I thought it would look lovely as the frills in her dress and her pigtails. I then tried this other Nuvo color, and it was too dark. I tried this fabric paint, but I didn't like my handiwork once again, and then this is where my confidence kind of took a dive, and I thought, you know what, I am not going to stuff up my artwork here. I'm just going to leave it. It doesn't need anything in there, does it? That space above her head does not look as dark as I thought it was, and I was just going to leave it. But then as I'm doing my voiceover, I'm kicking myself. This is once again me letting my fear interfere with what I want to do. So this is what I did. I went back and I recorded, and I looked through my buttons, and although I don't have stickers, I do have buttons. I tried this wooden button, and I think it's too large. It's a lovely shape and a nice color, but it's too large. It doesn't fit. I'm looking through the rest of my buttons, and I thought that this toadstool looked good, but I actually don't use it in the end. Still thinking about, I'm getting distracted now, and I'm thinking, oh, I should put these cute little flowers, and actually, I don't know what I'm thinking. No, my color scheme is green and purple, and you can see here as I'm putting other things, you know, it's distracting from the work that you've done. So I'm just kind of putting things there just to see how they look. This this size button looks like it's just about perfect, but this color is not quite right. Here's another button, black and white polka dot, doesn't look right. This button looks really good. So that's a purple button, a bit darker than the purple that I have, but it's cute. I really love this. So I'm starting to gain my confidence again, and I find this flower, which is the exact color of evergreen bough, and I think I've got to use this. I'm still wanting to use that mushroom, but you can see that it's not right. I know it. This flower is gorgeous. I love this flower. So, and the best thing about using buttons, this is not a journal page. This is not a book. It is a paper clip. So you can put chunky things on there. That is not a problem. So I go ahead and do it. I grab my E6000. I commit to putting the purple heart just a smidge to the left, not right on top of her. And then I thought that it would be nice to add the wooden flower to cover up one of the green agapanthus in the back there, as if it is an agapantha, but in a wooden button. And I am so pleased with this. Just adding a few extra embellishments really, really does the trick. So I'm so proud of myself for realizing that the fear was there and actually not letting it get to me, and going ahead and achieving what I wanted to bring out in my head into my artwork. I am putting some pictures up now so you can see the artwork. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in February.